How would you describe where you were as a guitar player before you started with me versus now?
Yeah, I think it's just night and day. I think I started kind of not knowing, like, I couldn't navigate the fretboard. I couldn't really go up and down. Didn't really know where the notes were. Um, and then now I think I can, play in pretty much any key, improvise, and like even the bending too. We worked on like my technique, so I think I feel much more comfortable hearing the pitch, not only like with my hands, but also like hearing the right sound, like noises, like the sounds, notes
Yeah.
that are supposed to fit within whatever you're playing with. Um, yeah, so I think it's kind of just night and day from when I first started, in the
Awesome.
most positive way. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, glad to hear that. What would you feel would be like the one or two most important things that helped you move faster?
I think just having the like scales and everything broken down on the paper, like visually to see
Yeah.
it, and then kind of like getting comfortable with it, like on the guitar as well. So I think having that, and then coupled with the like weekly sessions, I think
Hmm.
it was just like the perfect way for me to conceptualize a lot of it. And then also have a like week to practice it, and then kind of come with whatever I was working on. So I think having both the written materials and then actually the sessions was very helpful.
Gotcha. Perfect. So yeah, with that in mind, are you glad you decided to invest in the program?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, it's like it's putting me on the right track to be like, we talked about it originally when we first met, was like I want to be able to pick up the guitar and play. And
Yeah.
like, I want to be able to look at the guitar and say, okay, yeah, I can play that instrument. And now I'm like very close to that. I think I'm still a long way to go, but like I'm so much ahead of where I was before. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so thankful that I did the program for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, you never get there 100%, but
No, yeah,
I still look at the guitar like, what the heck is this?
yeah. At least we're
But
closer to
yeah,
where we want to be. So yeah,
absolutely.
that's
Yeah. Cool. So, what had you tried like before signing up with me, like in terms of lessons or YouTube or online courses, anything like that?
yeah. It was just kind of YouTube and online courses. Like I found there was like one online course through Fender that was really good when I first started, like just learning like the basic chords and like
Hmm.
just literally learning how to put your fingers on the guitar.
Yeah.
But then after that, I tried YouTube and kind of just messing around here and there, but it didn't really help because I was kind of stuck on what I should be doing.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was nice to have like a very structured. This is where you start. This is how you can kind of move forward. So
Okay. So, in terms of like maybe what you feel you didn't get out of those other programs was just like a pathway, or how would you describe that?
pathway, and yeah, exactly. Just like what the right things to focus on. You kind
Yeah.
of have too much information, and a lot of the times you
Mm.
can maybe jump from beginner stuff to like advanced, and you don't maybe
Yeah.
know where to go in between. So I think that was kind of tricky to navigate, and even finding the right stuff for where your skill level is, I think was tricky too.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, I guess who would you say would benefit from taking this program?
Anyone who wants to master the guitar, anyone who wants to learn the fretboard, anyone who wants to get enhance their skills. I think no matter where you're at, whether you're first time picking up a guitar or you're like more of an intermediate to advanced player, I think if you want to get better and learn the instrument, then I think you would definitely benefit from taking the course.
Awesome. Awesome. So, when we first talked about, what the program is and everything, did you have any hesitation with signing up for any reason?
Well, I think the only hesitation would have been, the cost or the price at the
Mm.
point. I think that's the only hesitation. I think everything else was like, yeah, this is exactly what I need. So it worked out. I think I was in a good spot where I was able to overcome that. But yeah, that would be the only thing for me. It's just financially. Sometimes,
Hmm.
maybe you don't have enough money to invest in whatever you want to do, but that would be the only hesitation for me for sure.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. So, yeah, awesome, man. Well, thanks a lot for your feedback. I also want to ask you, is there anything that could have been better or gone smoother, like in your experience working with me?
Um, Honestly, like not off the top of my head, I think it worked out really well. I think you're super flexible too on like days that I couldn't meet, pushing out a week to maybe have some more practice. No, I don't. I wouldn't say anything. Maybe just for me, just practicing a little more. It's kind of hard sometimes to fit in the practice as much as you need. But no, in
Yeah.
terms of the way that the program went, the way that we set calls up, I think it was really good. Yeah, I don't think I have any feedback there.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, pretty much every guitar player tells me that, and the reason I even mention it is because like a lot of players feel like they're kind of like the only one like that, and it's just so
Hmm.
important to acknowledge like every guitar player who really goes after it, and goes after advancing their skills, like wishes they had more time or feels like, oh, I'm not like perfectly aligned, you
Hmm.
know. Um, so with that in mind, I mean, was there anything that made you decide to just say like, oh, screw it, like let's just do it anyway?
Yeah, I think you helping me through that too is like okay, yeah, like even if you have a week where I only practice one time, picked it up, and like the next week I can play maybe 3 or 4 times. Like I think like you kind of pushed me just to say it doesn't matter how many times you do it as long as you pick it up, right? Like
Mm,
it's all
yeah,
good. Like you're gonna have times where you're gonna plateau, or you're gonna have weeks where maybe you don't even touch the guitar, but it's all good because you can come back and then you can pick it up as whenever you can, and you're gonna keep going up no matter if you play a couple times a week or you play every day. Like I think that was like the
yeah.
biggest thing was just like just do it when you can and you're
Hmm.
gonna get better as long as you keep doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, if you can't walk a mile, walk a couple blocks, sort of thing. Just
Hmm.
like do what you can and you'll move forward. So, cool,
Yeah.
man. Well, I really appreciate your feedback. That's basically all I had on that. Unless you had anything else you wanted to share or add.
No, I think it was awesome. I think thanks so much for like just giving me some positive feedback and like constructive criticism when I would send you videos. You didn't hesitate to give me some feedback where you're like okay, well your timing was off here or watch the
Mm,
pitch here in your bend. So I think that was really nice.
yeah.
And I think also just like even the last call we had of just like kind of like getting me into the energy of like pick it up, kind of feel it too. I think that was great that you gave me feedback on not only like my playing but also just like the vibe and like how to like
Yeah.
express the stuff that you're doing to an audience was cool. And I think the biggest thing for me as well when I first started that's kind of changed now is like my ability to hear everything, like training my ear to hear what sounds nice, to kind of visualize that in my ear. Like, okay, I know what I want to play over that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you helped me train my ear that way, whereas before I don't think I approached it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, from just learning on your own. I never had anyone to tell me that, right? So I never focused on it. So
Yeah.
now I feel like I hear a song, like you said last time, I hear a song, I can fit the vibe to it because now I kind of know what I want to throw in there.
Yeah.
And hearing, okay, well, that wasn't the right note, but I found the right one. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that was probably the biggest thing I got out of this was
Wow.
being able to approach it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. More in terms of like ear, I'm trying to fully understand what you mean. Like more in terms of approaching it as a listener, as opposed to like a more of an intellectual thing, or like what's the difference, would you
I
say?
think for me, before, like, I would be like, okay, here's the pentatonic scale, right?
Mm,
I can play the pentatonic scale. But now I'm looking at where the notes are at. Of like,
yeah.
okay, I know that the root note's here, that's going to sound resolved there. I know I can do a couple other things that's going to build the tension or pull it down.
Yeah.
That's allowing me to kind of create my own music rather than just looking, oh, I know the pentatonic scale has these 5 notes, right? I
Mm,
think that's where the difference was instead of like looking at it visually of where everything is at,
mm,
hearing it
yeah.
instead of, I don't know, does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. And that's really what I try to guide people towards, because it's like it's music.
Yes.
It's not just like a chessboard or like a grid.
Hmm.
So thanks for saying that. Now I understand what you mean. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I just do want to say thank you so much. Like, you've definitely given me confidence with the guitar and allowed me to kind of, take my skills and exponentially grow them. So I do want to say thank you very much. And it's been an honor to work with you. And I really appreciate all the time and effort that you've put in. So thank you so much.